Let's try. Oh, what is the problem? Just a little technical difficulty. Y'all hanging in with us.
Hey, y'all.
We having a little technical difficulties on this fine Sunday, but we here. We live.
No question about it.
Wrong, sure.
Man, how was your weekend?
My weekend was wonderful. I did absolutely nothing, and it felt so good. I feel alive. I feel great. How about y'all?
Well, let's see. I had a pretty dope weekend, man. Got a spoiler alert though, but had a pretty good weekend with my girlfriend.
What? Oh, you talking about your weekend, Joe? Because I feel like this is going to take a little time. This is going to take a little time. Go ahead, Mel. Joe, you last.
My weekend wasn't as good as Joe's.
Joe about to have a baby. Go ahead, Mel.
My weekend was good. It was good. But Joe, let's talk about this.
Hold on, let me get my drink. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I ain't gonna go with too many details, but yes, I have officially turned in my card, and I'm officially in a relationship.
Ooh, what's her sign? I need to know her sign.
I do know her sign. Her sign. She's a Pisces.
Pisces.
That is me. I'm very happy for you, Joe.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy for myself as well.
Me too. That's your mate right there. So this is gonna last. I feel like this is gonna last a long time.
Absolutely, because I think the biggest thing for us is that we both know what we want, and we communicate that, and it's pretty much taking all those things that we talked about over the different episodes and applying that to my real life. You know, and not just things that I just said. Of course, things that y'all mentioned and things y'all say, and things that all those things play back.
So that means we're getting an invite to the wedding since we helped you, we guided you.
Absolutely, no question about it.
Well, I'm so happy that you found a relationship and love, or whatever you want to call it. That's especially in this crazy 2020.
Absolutely. Hey, our favorite show is Catfish. That's weird, huh? That is our favorite show. So, but yeah, it was cool, man. And I'm gonna talk about something that happened. A party we went to this yesterday, and it's a reference to what today's topic is about.
Okay, so you take the lead. Before you take the lead, Mel, do you have anything exciting you want to tell us? No.
Well, I received a message from iHeartRadio saying that they were going to renew my subscription for a total of $551.51. So I decided to go on there and delete, cancel the renewing.
Okay.
And I had a message from this guy from January. And so I replied.
Okay, well, better than ever.
And, we were kind of talking back and forth. We exchanged numbers. And he's a Taurus, so let's see. He's a Taurus like me, so let's see how this goes.
So he actually replied after all these months.
No, I replied back to him.
Oh, but he replied back hey.
Yeah, right away. He was hello. He had a really good sense of humor, and me and him kind of went back and forth with the banter, which I liked. So yeah, I mean, he called me, but I was getting ready for the podcast. I'll hit him up later. Ooh. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to share this on our page.
Wow, okay.
So our followers will know, and it's a mess today, guys.
So disclaimer, I don't care. Facebook, y'all some haters. So whatever we promise, we end up in Facebook jail, get out of jail, You can't post anything. You can't share. For those of you who know Facebook, it's really difficult to like navigate, share, and promote without them blocking you. So please be patient with us. We have some technical difficulties, not on our end, but you know, on Facebook's end.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm very happy my two co-hosts are finding love. It's so wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. And it goes right into today's topic. Gender roles in relationships and how do they play a part? Joe, you said you had a story. So I would like to hear I think that's like a perfect way to start.
Set it off. Okay, so me and my girl went to her best friend's husband's birthday party, 50th. It was pretty dope, nice and laid out. We had a great time, we had fun. So, of course, it was his birthday. And, usually when it's your birthday and, you expect things, you know what I'm saying? So she went ahead, surprised him, got him a brand new spider, you know what I'm saying? Right at the door.
A spider?
Yeah, motorcycle.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, at the door, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I got him. Hey, y'all look over there. Bam, door's wide open. Brand new spider. So he was like, oh, everybody was like, oh, that's dope, this, that, and the third. But he was just like, yo, he said, I know I got that and all that good stuff, but I know it's so hard to surprise my wife. I got her something too on my birthday. And what he get her? He got her a Maserati SUV. Right out the door.
Oh my God, that's so dope.
I was like, yo, that's really dope. And, to think outside of the box, instead of it making a day about you, you made it about your love for your wife and about each other. You know what I'm saying? You knew you was thinking about her beyond the fact that, you can't surprise her on her birthday because she's already expecting stuff. But to do it on your birthday, that's like real cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, then to go to that level because that's a really expensive gift. You know what I'm saying?
Maserati, come on.
The SUV, and they just came out. So
I know, I was looking at them.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Looks dope in real life too. So, but yeah, and I think for the most part, I think that kind of goes into what the topic is today about gender roles because I think for a guy, you don't. You might not really expect things or, whatever the case may be, or maybe you do, all the hard work you do, but to go beyond that and think about your wife on your day, which is supposed to be your day, I think there's a whole different level right there.
It definitely is. And it's unexpected. I'm pretty sure she was like shocked, surprised.
Man, she was in there boo-hooing, just trying. He thought it was he thought it was like a wedding in there, you know what I'm saying? Aww. He was just totally surprised on his day. And I think that was really dope.
That is. That is. Shout out to them,
Right.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, it was a nice, everybody took pictures, everybody was, drinking, had a good time, great time.
They black? I mean, not that it matters. But they black?
Yes, they were black.
Black. Important to me because, we don't see enough black relationships promoted. So it's just nice to know that they are out there and they got money. And
right.
Not all poor ratchet with 17 kids and 35 baby daddies, and they're doing nice things for each other. So it's really important.
Right, and that was like that's a great. I mean, I'm not big on material stuff, meaning things, but that's great reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? Like a great sign of it, and that's how he felt about it. That he wanted to do more than just be about him, about both of them. You know what I'm saying? That gets him to that point to make him do what he wanted to do, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And for her to do what she did for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a great example of black love.
Yeah.
And, felt good about that. That was a good thing for me to see.
Do you know how long they've been together? Or?
I remember him singing in his song, after 11 years, I'm still in love with you.
I love. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he was singing and everything at his birthday party. He was an R&B singer, so yeah, so he was doing the thing, and it was pretty dope. It was a great experience.
That's dope.
So yeah,
I'm just trying to, get the message out that we're live since we had some technical difficulties earlier.
Right.
Multitask, but yes. Speaking of gender roles and doing things for each other, I feel like in 2020, in the 21st century, things have changed a lot. More women are taking 40%, 46% of women are actually the breadwinners, quote unquote, breadwinners of the family. And, a lot of men are stay-at-home dads and they're bonding with their children. So gender roles have definitely changed. That doesn't mean men are slacking. It doesn't mean men are not making money. It's just
lost Brandy.
Oh my gosh. It's just like bad. Like we're in Mercury retrograde right now until November. And I just feel like everything is just falling apart.
Falling straight apart.
I love it. I am all for the shits and giggles and mistakes. I love bloopers. That's me. I'm a funny person. Everything. I laugh at everything. So whatever. We're gonna look back in 5 years and be like, remember that day on Sunday, September 20, whatever the hell it is today, and we just couldn't get it together.
Right.
I'm getting text messages, y'all.
Yeah, that was.
Facebook is hating. I'm getting text messages from our fans stating that it is all jacked up and Facebook is hating. So
right.
Yeah, it's like we're on our other page right now going live. It did not allow us to share the live, to go live from our regular MelBee's page, which I'm like, what is going on? Since when? We go live every Sunday, so it's like, whatever. Anyway, we have to, we're still live on YouTube, and we're gonna leave the link, in the description.
Okay. On our page.
So that people can view us there. We need followers on YouTube. We need subscribers anyway. So definitely go to YouTube. We're gonna post the link at the end, so
right.
you can see what's going on. But yeah, let's talk about gender roles.
yeah.
All right. Go ahead, B. This is your topic. You got it.
I mean, like I was stating before, gender roles have changed since the 1900s. It says here that women, they are taking the lead. Some of them, 46%, not all, but 46% of women are considered the breadwinners of the family. And men are stepping back and letting them take control when it comes to the finances. And it's not hurting relationships. Men still can be masculine and the woman paying bills or making more money. But how do y'all feel about that, Joe? How would you feel if your woman was making 6 figures and she was taking on? Would you allow her to pay majority of the bills because she makes more?
I think that would be just like a discussion we would have or something like that. I think it would do something that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because we all both, in order for the whole thing to even work the way it should, to be a great relationship, we always got to figure out a way how we can make it work harder, work smarter and not harder. You know what I'm saying? And I think the same thing applies. If she makes all that money and I'm making less money, then we're going to see where we can apply what to. But we both want to participate. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to be like, well, you make all the money, so you should pay all the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to play my part to take care of things that need to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Mel, if you were a 6-figure earning woman, which you are, and your husband was not, well, you know what I mean. We're almost there. Would you feel obligated to pay more of the bills, or would you still want to provide 100% or 90%? I love her long call. I told you she's gonna be by the end of 2020. Mel will be. Go ahead.
Because I be like thinking about what I don't just like.
Just let it fly.
I'm really thinking about the situation. It's hard because I'm not married. But I think I would want someone to that has like a higher status than me, only because of how society is. Like, you know, I feel like society is the one that puts the pressure on men that they have to be superior to the woman, you know, in all areas, including relationships, you know. And because of that pressure, men might be influenced by like outside influences, you know, like their friends. If their friends find out that their wife makes more, I mean, in most situations, it's going to be obvious. Like if he's a janitor and she's a doctor, you know, they're going to know, like, if he pull up to work in a Benz, oh, your wife bought that for you? Like, why you even going to work? What you paying for gas? Like, you know, they might clown him in all types of ways. So I think men, you know, they have to really hard. But I also feel like people have to do what's right for their relationship too. You know, because if a lot of us do rely on society to tell us how to think, how to love, how to choose and make all of those things, and everything might not work for everybody. You know, like, I think people should just do what works for their relationship and what works for them as an individual. Like if a man says, it's important for me to have a girlfriend or a wife that knows how to cook, because I believe the woman belongs in the kitchen. He's not gonna be compatible with a feminist that believes that there are no gender roles and we both can share the duties. Like that's not compatible, regardless of how big her butt is or how beautiful she is. Like, they're not going to be compatible long term. So I think the first thing is to find somebody that has the same values as you, you know, and then take it from there.
I agree. I definitely agree. You know, I've dated someone who was not on my financial level, and I would have to like take the majority of the bills, paying most of the bills, and you start to look at your man like not so much as a manly man. And I think that's the only thing that I can see is like, if you're not taking care of the bills, you can't provide, you can't really do much. What are you offering me besides hard, thick, and bubble gum? So it's like, it depends on where you're like the whole society and social media. They all play a part where a man is supposed to be masculine, a provider, this, that, and the third. And it's 2020. A lot of men, and bills are crazy. I know rent is crazy now. It takes a lot. So you already got to be well established and have a good career to pay these bills by yourself and take care of your girl, nails, hair, makeup, like all of that costs money. So times have definitely changed, and I like the fact that men are stepping into the kitchen, men are stepping into the role of being the provider as well, because these kids want to see both parents provide it. They need love on both sides. So it all comes down to what you're comfortable with. And honestly, I'm okay with splitting everything 50-50. I think that it's successful. I think that we both will be happy, and you know, let's see how it works.
Right, because a lot of people fail to think that just because we split things 50-50, like it's not a benefit. Like people try to dismiss that, like, oh, that's terrible. We shouldn't be doing that. A man should just be providing and all that good stuff. And if you don't realize, it makes it easier for both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't have to spend 100% of his money on something, you don't have to spend 100% of money on something. Y'all both have an opportunity to put money away for a rainy day if something goes wrong. Between one of y'all can lose a job. Then what? Somebody has to step up and have the opportunity to take care of everything. So I think it makes sense for it to be adaptable and not be stubborn about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it makes sense for you to be the provider, and it makes sense for you to do that, all those things, then cool. But if it doesn't, and you know, y'all do what y'all do for y'all relationship, what makes y'all relationship work. You know what I'm saying? And then even like with my girlfriend when she's at the house.
It's gonna take some
It just sounds weird when you say
He's like, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
you ain't even forewarn us or text us and say, hey guys, guess what?
Yeah, not surprised. But even with her, like when she walks out, when she leaves out the house.
Oh wait, y'all live together?
No. We don't live together. Okay. She's over here though.
Hi, girlfriend.
She's a school teacher, so she got a lot of bags and stuff, and she be throwing it on her shoulder like, "Hold up, what you doing?" I'm like, "Come on," I just be taking it from her. Like she's like, "Oh, she's like," then she'll be like, "I got it though." And I was like, "You got it when you're by yourself, but when I'm here, I'm gonna take care of that for you. You shouldn't be carrying. I ain't gonna let you carry all that. Come on,
and that's the way it should be.
Exactly.
Take note. That's the way it should be.
Exactly.
I don't know if I agree with the 50-50 thing though.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to run that back. I let y'all get away with that. Well, not y'all, but I let Joe get away with saying 50-50. Oh, you said it too, B?
I said I don't mind it being 50-50 because bills is high. It's a lot nowadays. And
I mind. Hold on a second.
So, that's cool. I got a question on that too. So what would you do in a situation where, okay, the man is the provider and all right, you're not really using your money. If he loses his job, you're gonna take care, you're gonna hold everybody down since you haven't had to spend no money.
I mean, if he is the provider, then he should also have a backup plan to cover the household if he loses his job or loses his source of income. Like, I feel like, and a part of being a provider is thinking about the bigger picture and, excellent, checking all the boxes and crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's and seeing into the future kind of thing.
Okay,
and preparing for the unfortunate situations.
So all right. So I got to challenge you on that. Okay, cool.
Hold on, she was gonna say something about that 50-50.
Yeah, I don't believe in 50-50 because as a woman, it's never equal. The woman is always doing more. A lot of the times men don't. Y'all need women, to organize things, keep things together. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna be doing all of those things. If I'm going to be doing all of these things, keeping the household together, I need to be compensated. Like I need to make sure that I'm okay. Like the last thing I should be worried about is my half of a bill. I feel like I said in the beginning, everyone has to do what's right for their relationship. Not everyone can afford, to be the full provider, without some type of contribution. But I also feel like a man can be a provider even if he's making less than $100,000 a year. He can cover, all the necessities, and maybe the woman's paycheck goes towards things for the house, buying food, preparing food. But if a woman has to go out and work just as much as a man, and then she has to come home and take care of the kids. Make sure all your doctors, got your prostate exam. Scheduling your doctor's appointments. Scheduling the kids' doctor's appointments and making sure the technicians come to the house when they're supposed to be and organizing things.
People be doing that.
Why should she have to go half on the bill on top of it?
I got an interesting take on that, and like I said, I'm gonna challenge that theory you got. So, but before we do that, we gotta pay some bills.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we're gonna pay some bills real quick. I'm going to pull Edmund up. Because he is our permanent sponsor. Hold on, guys. Evan is our permanent sponsor. We got to make sure that we bring him in and make sure that,
he's taking care.
Cool. Keep things going.
Gary of Follow Me will dispute the negative items being reported, request verification of the debt, and ask for a cease and desist required by law. Edmund Gary of Follow Me will monitor and watch your credit, addressing issues as they arrive to get you back on track for a good final score. Call Edmund Gary today at 404-437-2028 for a personal consultation on credit repair. The best card for rebuilding your credit, second chance bank accounts, and how to buy a home. Edmund Gary, owner of Follow Me, says that credit is not forever, and I can fix it. Follow me.
Follow me. Follow me. Follow me.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it all the way together. But this is what happens when you live. Like there's no it's not gonna be perfect, but we here.
Right.
Right. This is all authentic.
Right, and raw. So
all right, go ahead. So Joe, you was about to get in our asses about going for
all right. So I'm gonna go challenge the idea of that. Like, you're right. You say, why should a woman be at the end of the day be concerned about paying her half the bill? We all pay bills, whether you're single or you're in a relationship. So that shouldn't even be an issue. Half of a bill is even better than paying a whole bill.
No, let me stop.
It should make the process a lot easier because it won't be as a burden compared to paying the whole thing. And then if you say, okay, well, if I lose my job, I should have a backup plan. Well, what are you there for if you're not going to be a support? You're just going to be like, okay, well, you should have that plan in place because nobody ever really plans to lose their job. So, you know what I'm saying? Things can happen that's unknown to you. Of course, I'm gonna make the effort to go out and find something, whatever I can do to compensate. But in the meantime, what's your role? What are you gonna do to help out? Since I help allows you to have all your money or most of your money while I've been providing for you and providing for the household.
Is it really her money if y'all married and y'all isn't it a joint kind of thing?
You're not making it sound like that. You're saying it's a provider. You take care of everything.
You're not okay. If we're married, not me and you, but if you and your girlfriend, because you got a girlfriend now, you got to put her in. If you and your, I'm not even going to drag her in this. I'm going to use myself. If I was married to a guy, I mean. and he made more money than me, and I worked. And we had an account where a joint account. We also, I would probably have my own separate account.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Money would be going into savings.
Okay. Okay.
So as far as me, when I say him providing, meaning why wouldn't he be able to pay the mortgage? That's part of being a provider. And you said something about what would he need me for? I already mentioned all of that stuff earlier to organize the household.
But I mean,
that is even if I was working full time, I would have to do that.
Okay, I would think that man is still because even with being a provider, when you're looking at the ultimate thing, and as far as planning, that would be a part of planning for him as well. Because
would be a part? What
as far as the same thing that a woman would do, as far as I'm setting up appointments because a lot of women don't even want to deal with that part either. They don't want to be dealing with setting up things. Oh, we need to send them we need to have a mechanic out here. We need to have a technician out here for this. Usually the guy usually sets that up. And then as far as like I can see about as far as doctor visits and stuff like that, that's cool. But if I could have somebody that that's willing to go half in with me on some bills, even though I make a lot of money, I think that would still be a more attractive thing than to be in a situation where somebody who's saying I need to completely provide, and then if something goes wrong with me, you need to figure it out because you're supposed to plan ahead for that. Just in case something like that.
So while you're going half, are you also like putting both of your money in a joint account?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you go, well, it's like it'll be like it's pretty much if you're going half in a situation. First thing immediately is going half in a situation is determining what you're both gonna be paying, and you're gonna put that money together for those bills. So then to have the leftover money, you have to keep to yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
So then it would be
that Maserati coupe or Maserati on his birthday because that money is there. So I feel both of y'all. I'm sorry to interrupt. But I feel both of y'all. I feel 50-50 with the whole thing. It's like, depending on who makes more, if the man is making more, I feel like he should just automatically say, hey, babe, I'm going to pay the bills or whatever, and your money should be for you. That's the traditional way of doing it, in my view. But 2021, 2020 is like, come on, if we both making the same amount, or he's even making a little bit more, or whatever the case may be, we split the bills 50-50. I feel like that extra money, like Joe said, we'll have for trips, we'll have for those expensive gifts, we'll have in the bank account to like spoil each other.
Exactly.
I mean, it depends. Like I don't know. I'm not married, so I can't really speak for married people, but
my thing is this: if your money, if you're both paying bills together, 50-50, and then the money is also going into an account at the same time, then it's not 50-50. It's we just roommates.
How we can't be just roommates? It's like
if I don't have my own account and my own money,
you should though.
That's the thing about that's the point I made. Like when you're in a 50-50 situation, you already established that the money. This is all right. This is what we're gonna be paying. Let's eliminate the idea of it being 50-50. Let's just say we're both contributing because somebody's gonna be doing a little bit more as far as money wise. So let's say, okay, cool.
And somebody's gonna be doing a little bit more as far as the household is concerned.
Right.
That's where the unequal part comes in at, because men, like my grandmother used to say, men work from sun to sun, but a woman's work is never done.
Which is true.
It's never 50-50. And when women look at it like, we're splitting half of the bills, all you're doing is going to work. You're not really doing everything that the woman is doing. If you're believing in, traditional roles and all of that, the woman is always going to have more to do.
That's all right. So you're right in that sense, as far as like the kids or whatever. But there's things that like my husband to do. If I need an oil change, anything that has to do with my car, even putting gas in my car, I would expect him to do it. On a spider, taking out the trash, like there's certain things, plumbing, whatever is broken, anything that's like manual labor, you're not going to do it, right? So as far as the kids, most men, like I feel like they take on responsibility for the kids. They don't just leave you with them. They take them to the park. They take your son to go get a haircut, drop the kids off at daycare. Those are things that you can put in place in the beginning. Listen, if I'm paying 50-50, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you dropping these kids off. This is my time. I need a break. I feel like those things can be also implemented or discussed in the beginning of the relationship if we do the 50-50. But I get you. Like women, we do think a lot. We do a lot. But it's like, girl, I don't even know what to say because these dudes nowadays, they're just different. They come from a different cloth. They're not like the men in the 1900s who worked and provided and did everything while we stayed home barefoot and pregnant. Things have changed a lot. So, I mean,
and I get that, traditional times. But I also feel like, regardless of how much time changes, like people always kind of fall into different roles within a relationship. There's always going to be, that's why I say compatibility is important, because I'm the type of person that, like, my hobby is not looking up recipes on Pinterest. Like I cook, for fun sometimes, but mostly just to nourish my body. Not like, I'm a chef. I'm chefing in the kitchen. So if a guy asks me, "Do you cook?" Because this guy I was talking to yesterday, he's like, "Let me ask you a question. Do you cook?" And I was like,
"You cook, man?" Like most like shit.
I was just like immediately turned off, and then he had the nerve to say, "Oh, it's not like your answer is not a deal breaker." And I'm like, dude, I've been talking to you for 5 minutes. You think I care if it's a deal breaker or not? If I tell you, keep it real with you and tell you, like, I cook because I have to. I don't feel like that's my role. Like, oh, I'm gonna be cooking for my man and because I don't like doing that. So for me, like to find someone compatible would be someone that loves to cook. Like I would probably be more like, attracted to him because then it takes the pressure off of me to feel like I gotta do everything, perfect or bring him his plate every night. Like,
so you pretty much try to find people that shore up your weaknesses.
I mean, isn't that what compatibility is about though? Like true compatibility is finding someone that matches, like, that's stronger in areas that you might be weak, and also you for them, and that's how you guys have that balance. I think, and there's also, sharing interests and stuff like that. But to be with someone that is good at everything, the same thing you're good at, and then bad at everything you're bad at, like how y'all gonna help each other? There's no like
no balance.
There's no balance. Like it's yin and yang. So I feel like, with the whole like gender roles thing, I feel like I'm gonna say what I said in the beginning. It depends on a relationship. Like you gotta do what works for you. Like you can't really go off of like what society is telling you. Like if you're a woman that don't want to cook and clean, and you want to find somebody that makes enough money, or even like if he tell you, I'm gonna take care of the bills, and you could take care, like you could pay the housekeeper since you don't want to clean or whatever. Fine, like I'll pay the somebody to come clean up or whatever. Like I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, and not in. Let me be clear too, and also thinking along the lines of what 50 is also sharing responsibilities in the household, not just financially, because just like what I'm gonna bring my girl back into the situation because the reciprocation is dope. Like she does her role, she understands her role as far as what she wants to do and what she needs to do to make me happy, or we ask questions. You know what I'm saying? We don't assume anything. We ask questions. Hey, just what is some things that you like, or what are you expecting? You know what I'm saying? And see if go along those guidelines. Like for example, she already told me off the rip she doesn't like doing anything with her car. Cool, I got you. That mental note taken. So what I did, I was like, cool. One day she was over here. I went ahead and I just had to borrow her car just to go to the store because she was blocking my car, and I used to like doing a little ring around the rosy with the car. So I was like, cool. I just went ahead and drove off. And as I was going off driving, I was like, oh, she doesn't have that much gas. Let me go ahead and go fill it up for her. Boom. I just went ahead. Oh yeah, of course. I went ahead and did it.
Did you tell her to cash app you the money?
No, I used my own money. I use my own brand. That's crazy.
I'm just saying, like that. If it's 50-50, like you were supposed to be asking her to send you the money. That's how ridiculous 50-50 sounds.
But that's not a thing. That it's different in my perspective as a man versus your perspective as a woman. Like in a situation like that, one, we don't live together, so I'm doing that because that's what I need to do because I know that she doesn't like to do anything with the car. For
And you think that that's going to change when y'all moving together? You can be like, go.
That may not change.
Fill up the gas tank, boo.
But I mean, like I said, my thing is when she has her opportunities to be on her own and I can't do it, she's gonna have to fill up herself. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is that 50-50, you can't. I don't believe in 50-50 because it's dangerous. And it's dangerous because you start keeping tabs on, well, I spent this much last week and I paid for this and I paid for that. It don't work.
When I say 50-50, I'm talking about the rent is $2,000. You give me $1,000, I put $1,000. The cable bill's $200. You give me $100, I give you. That's what I mean by 50-50. As far as like putting gas in the car, groceries, things like that, I feel like that just comes natural. We need to eat. He likes chicken and steak. If I'm at the grocery store, I'm picking up chicken and steak. He knows how to make oysters. He picks up shrimp and oysters. Those little things like that should just be.
But then that money is gonna start coming out your account. And then if you don't have money to go get your hair done or your nails done or whatever, and he gonna be like, oh, you think he gonna give you the money back for the steak and the shrimp?
Well, that's why I said in the beginning, I feel like if he knows, all right, every month I get my hair done and I get my nails done. Just say it was $150 every month. This haircut, that's $50 every month. $200 is our money. We already know that's our so that should be factored in to our little joint savings account. That $150 or that $200 comes out every month for our personal appearance, our leisure. As far as bills, if we had to go 50-50, then we know 50-50 is the bills. Whatever extra money you spend on the side, that's your extra money. If he wants to gift you something, that's on him. If he puts gas in your car, that's on him. Like, I don't know. It depends on, like you said, the relationship, the compatibility, and who makes what. Because not everybody makes a certain amount. I like to live a certain way. I don't want to live in certain neighborhoods. So if I decide, hey, I want to live in this upscale neighborhood and the rent is like 50% more than what you used to pay, then you can't expect him to just say, all right, I'm going to pay 50% more rent because you want to live in this type of neighborhood. So like you said, it all depends on compatibility and what he's willing to deal with. You said you don't like cooking, right? So if you want him to pay the bills and you're not going to cook, like, come on, you got to give something.
I mean, but I didn't say that I don't know how to cook. I just said I don't.
You prefer not to.
It's not a personal hobby of mine. Like, and I don't really feel like it's my duty to be in the kitchen cooking every night.
Right.
I'm not. I mean, even as a single person, I don't cook every night. So I'm not gonna like change that because now I'm in a relationship and I'm like, because then I'm gonna wind up resenting him. Like, oh, I'm trying to be this person that I'm not just to keep a man. You know. I'm
sorry. That would go lead towards more of a 50-50 situation because you want somebody to share that responsibility. So you're not gonna do it every day. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all still gotta eat. And if you find you a dude, if you're not gonna do it and you get it known like this is not what I prefer to do, then it would be more of a thing of you more of your preference, and it would sound a little more selfish to be like, hey, I'm not filling this gender role right here, which would be eating every day, every night. And then, but if he knows how to do it too, you would be happy with that as well. Like, okay, cool. I cook Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you cook Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, and we just take a day off together when we're not cooking. So it still would satisfy your idea of not doing it every single day, 7 days a week, and then also at the same time he's helping out with the household things as well. Because I think the point that you're aiming at is that because women do gender roles as far as taking care of this, taking care of the kids, that men can do it too. It just doesn't get put out there like that. Like, take care of my kids. I can do the same thing you do with the kids that you do with the kids. It's just that we just perceive as, okay, we're just going to work and you come home and you just lay up and like, girl, turn around. Let me get that ass now. Because I already.
You ain't gonna have no choice but to take care of the kids. If you're going 50-50, you're not gonna have a choice.
Yeah. So and
that 50-50.
And I think it's the miscellaneous things that don't get talked about. Like I said, like things like that. Like me, I don't mind doing that because down the road, I'm not keeping a score. Like, okay, I put gas in your car, and I went and got your oil change, and I paid for that too.
You might not do it, but there are men out there that will do it in a 50-50 situation, especially if the woman is making a little bit more. You know, that's why it's a personal preference for me. Like, I feel like it's important for the man to make more than me, just so that he won't resent me, you know, or feel like I'm trying to be, because I'm like naturally bossy anyway. And I wouldn't want like his ego to be affected by my natural personality in addition to, you know, the money that I'm making. Like, he might feel like it's correlated in some type of way. So that's why I feel like it's important for the men to make more. But that's just a personal, you know.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not trying to tell you, you know, your way of thinking is wrong or anything like that, because they just, like I said, it's a preference for you. And just like I said, a preference for me. Like, I think the dope thing about my girlfriend is that she always, when she speaks, it's always we.
Look, every time Joe says my girlfriend, we want to take a shot.
I left. Bartender, my shit is empty.
And everything that she says, well, even from day one that we talk, is always about we. We gonna do this, we gonna do that, we gonna do this. And for me, that's different because I'm not used to hearing that from a woman just coming out like, we are gonna do this. It's more about, okay,
you just didn't care before because you wasn't trying to be in the we with the other.
Hey, like I said, I could play both roles.
He said I can play both roles. So Melissa said it is dangerous when you do that 50-50 thing, because if you met a girl and you wasn't in this relationship and she was like, hey babe, I'll take care of everything, you just show up, you'll be okay with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be okay with it.
Right. So this your girlfriend now is like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're gonna do it my way or this way, and I feel like it works better. You're okay with that too. So you're just like,
the thing about it is, I know that she has her point of saying like, okay, she has the way that she likes to do it, but there's still things that I'm gonna do and still take the lead on because that's what I know to do. So it's not like I can play, you know, just like you want somebody to take the lead, and then when they take the lead, that also comes with, he pretty much dictates everything and how it was going on, and then it might be something that come up you may not agree with. So you should be able to be adaptable and adjustable to be like, okay, cool. I know I told you to take the lead, but not today. I want to go a different direction today. I think you should be open to that idea and not just be like, okay, take the lead all the time, every single time. Because even if I don't agree with you, I think you should be able to have a balance of being able to check your partner when you don't think something is going to go right or you don't think it's a good idea.
I also feel like it's important for the guys to like the woman a lot, you know, because as Joe has demonstrated today during today's podcast, you know, he was not asking his girlfriend to cash app him $20 because he put gas in her car. Now, if he wasn't feeling someone, first of all, he would not have even cared. If her shit was even on E, he wouldn't have taken the initiative to go, you know, and put gas in her car. And he also probably would have asked for reimbursement. You know? So I also feel like that's why it's important to be with men that are sincerely into you, regardless of if they stay 50-50 or not. A man is going to naturally fall into that provider role and want to do things for you when he's into you. If he's asking you for money and he's asking you to put him, like he got his hand out, he ain't into you. And Joe proved that, regardless of what he's trying to, you know,
attention
right now. He don't believe in 50-50 either.
Yeah. But I mean, for me,
because I guarantee you, if she was to do the same thing, she was to put, I put gas in your car, you'd be like, here, babe, giving her the money back.
I wouldn't do that.
I think you would.
Look, I'll be expecting for the money back.
Like I said, because the thing about it for me is like I said, you do for each other. You know what I'm saying? So. It would be like, you know, she know eventually I'm gonna do something like that back for her. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I hope I'm not getting super. You know what? I'm gonna just ask. What
Yeah.
has she done for you that made you feel like you want to put gas in her car?
It's just like I said, how she speaks and how she takes care of things naturally. Like she's always
Nothing.
no,
She's
no, no,
done
no.
nothing. She's done nothing.
No.
Can I get a sip of what you're drinking? Because my shit empty. Shout out to Data's Place for the glass.
I'm drinking Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh,
She has gone out the way to make recipes, and she's come over here and cooked for me.
See?
She's giving me a massage on the spot when I needed one. She does body sculpting, and so she's dope at that. So,
Are we listening? Are we listening, ladies?
Taking notes. I'm taking notes. Trust me.
Take notes, ladies, because he hasn't mentioned that one time anything,
But I mean, but for me, it's not financial. For me, it's those little things like that. Like, all right, she's like, babe, you got a long day at work. You need a body massage. Like she got the thing laid out for me and all that.
All of those things made you want to be a provider. All of those things wanted to make you take care of her, right? Her just naturally being a woman and feminine and going above and beyond to make you feel good as a man.
No question about it.
Right?
Yep. But it's not for me. That's what it takes for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take for you to show me something financially for us to be balanced out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I still wouldn't mind having something to put to the side, and for you to have something to put to the side for a rainy day, or I could plan vacations, because if I'm putting 80%, 90% of my money into a situation where I'm paying all the bills, I'm paying all this, when I'm supposed to plan for something for our trip too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you should have some kind of balance. And then I even have a perfect example. One of my homeboys, he's in a relationship and he's mostly the provider. He's paying most of the bills, and he's working 2-3 jobs, busting his ass tired. And then the first thing she lays up and turns around and say, you need to take me out on a date. He like, what? He's like, I'm taking care of you, me, and these kids. And the first thing, you can talk about, well, you ain't taking me out on dates. You know what I'm saying? He's over here dog ass tired, busting his ass to keep them afloat. And she makes less than him, but she's not doing anything to improve her situation to help out. She's just letting him bust his ass. So if he go ahead, he's over there doing Uber, doing his regular job, and damn near falling asleep on the road. And if he dies and he's gone, what's that?
I knew that was coming.
I was like, so he's like, man, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and for her to even come at me like that.
All right, I don't want to sound insensitive when I say this, but at the same time, it's like, if he is taking on all of those responsibilities because he know that he's gonna feel better as a man to like provide for his wife and his children, then he also needs to be thinking about, what can I do? What type of profession can I do to earn more so that I'm not like killing myself, and I also have time to make my wife feel loved and appreciated or whatever. Like, it's not there's a saying, and I think that's the problem with the Black community too. Like, a lot of us are very limited in our thinking and like how we do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, some things can be avoided. Like, you can try to find a way to make a little bit more money so you're not killing yourself for the bare minimum. You know what I mean?
So why does it got to be solely on him to come up with that instead of y'all in a relationship together?
Because it would make his life better. Like, if he could find a way to increase his income to where he's making the same amount of money working one job as opposed to two, then he's not risking. Like, what use is he going to be if he's dead? Like,
yeah, but I think that's the thing too. But so what's her role? Is to sit at home and take care of the kids, and she can't
I
find.
mean, that's who he chose. He didn't if he can't like be mad at who he chose if he didn't choose somebody that wanted to earn more money. He didn't choose someone that was capable of suggesting different options for him to go about things.
But usually, I think usually that ends up being a situation for a lot of people because everybody's not going to put themselves out there like that. And then you find out about people down the road when you find out they're not putting in the same effort or they're not doing this and not doing that. I think that's an example of that situation. And I think also, too, they even put a different twist on it. He's limited to what he could do. So he has to do those things because he has felonies. So now he can't. He's doing this and he's doing that. So his options are limited. She doesn't have the same issue as he does as far as with his background or whatever the case may be. So they both took on something at the same time, but at the same time, he's taking. None of those kids that he's taking care of are his, and they're not even married. He feels guilty at the fact of leaving those kids in a bad situation because their mother is not doing anything better to find a way to better herself or put them in a better strata, a better zone together. Not just him doing it, pulling them out the hole. You should be able to do that together, especially if that's your own children. And then he doesn't have no right to say so to those kids besides being there as a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? And she's not making an effort, and all the things she can think about is, hey, you gotta date.
It's not selfish. I mean, I feel what Melissa's saying, that he should put himself in a better financial situation if he could. But at the same time, if we're talking about today, like right now, that could come off, very selfish. If she's working, maybe she should take him out on a date because he's the one that's doing whatever the fuck he's doing out there. But, I don't know what these men do because they always try and broke. But maybe she should take him out on a date. If she's not offering those type of things, if she's not alleviating some of the financial burden on it, then she should really keep him out shut. If he feels like it's too much to be doing, maybe he should find a relationship where the girl ain't got that many kids. So those are your solutions to the problem. Walk away or shut up and keep working and keep dealing with it. Her solution to the problem is if you want to go out on more dates, take your man out. If you make good money or whatever the case, if you have a job and whatever, take him out. That's what you want. There's nothing wrong with taking your man out and giving him a massage and buying him a PS5. It's nothing wrong with it. I feel like, to me, relationships, that's where they fail. Where it's all on one, whether it's the woman or the man. It should never be all on one. It should be 50-50. That's how I view it. I'm talking about communication, emotions, feelings, gifts. It should not just be on one.
Right.
If it was the woman working and the man was home and he wasn't doing anything, we'll be up in arms like, oh my God, he's a bum. He's not doing anything. Why are you doing it? But when it comes to women, it's okay for us to stay home and reap the benefits of a man working. So society has changed, unfortunately, and that's the way it is. These women went out there and fought for equal rights. I would love to be home, barefoot and pregnant, being Susie Homemaker while my husband was out there working. But that's not society. Society is like women should be working just as much as men. And this is what we come to. These gender roles, they're important of them. Men don't feel like they have to work that much. They don't have to work that hard because they're doing just as much as them. We're firefighters, we're police, detectives, doctors, lawyers, nurses. So now men are like, shit, if she's on the grill bacon, why I gotta work as hard? That's how they're looking at it. So
but they only gonna be looking at it like that if they in a 50-50 relationship. If you in a relationship where the man has, regardless of how we feel about gender roles, like they naturally happen. I know Joe talks about his job all the time. Like, I like to make money, but I'm not climbing up on the ladder, touching electrical wires and climbing under houses and doing all that. If it's a woman out there that wants to do it, that's fine. Me personally, I'm not going to do it. And if gender roles exist in certain professions, then it shouldn't be a reason why it can't exist in a household. It's some things like you know, are naturally feminine and things that are naturally masculine. You know, and I also feel like with men, like with your friend that she was, I don't know, you say your friend or a family member or whoever that was, like that's who he chose. He was attracted to somebody that, you know, if he had a person that was like a go-getter and out there earning money, you think he was sitting there trying to get money? No, he probably be home on the PlayStation on the PS5, like, oh, she got it. But because she don't have, she's not going out there being a man. He, you know, going to be in his role, which is the provider by any means necessary. And it's unfortunate that he could fall asleep at the road or whatever. But maybe if he's watching the podcast, maybe while he's on the road driving, those wheels will be turned in his head. How can I double my income? How can I make more money so that I have more time for myself? Also, more time with my wife and these other kids that's not mine or whatever. Whatever story he want to, you know, tell himself. Get the money, but don't kill yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if on a financial tip, if he doesn't kill himself or trying to do that, and she ain't willing to do anything better for herself either, that's what builds the causes the frustration.
Are they married?
No, they're not.
They're not married. That's what I said.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where's the obligation?
I think for him is, which is a rarity, is that he's really looking more at the kids that he's developed a relationship with.
He's a martyr, and he wants somebody to feel sorry for him or whatever. No.
Yeah, I mean, he's still already talking about you ain't trying to hear that. But, yeah.
I'm not trying to hear it, because like you didn't say like, oh, she got all his kids and he worried. Okay, he's worried about these kids. It's not his. But then he ain't worried that much if he's not figuring out a better way.
He's doing what he could do within the scope of what he's dealing with. Like, he's a felon. He can't get a great job, so he got 2 jobs. And even having a felony, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the best way you could. That is still making an effort doing something. It may not be the best job to put it into one singular job, but I think it's still an effort. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, and then why? But she's at home and eating and complain. Hey, when you gonna take us on a date? That's I don't think that's cool at all. It sound like the role has reversed. Because it was him sitting at the house playing PlayStation 5. Hey, babe, what's for dinner? He would be feeling some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So after you just came in from a long day of work, you know what I'm saying? As whatever the case may be.
So y'all hear this, ladies? If you want your man to get off the PlayStation and go work, don't go to work. Go on strike now, tonight. If he love you, he gonna go out there and he gonna get the money.
Before we wrap it up, I would just like to say, if that was my brother or my son or my male cousin in that situation, I would tell him to leave. I'm sorry. I would not want my son dealing with a chick like that.
Right.
I'm not saying that a man is not supposed to provide and there's something wrong with it, but if she feels like him working 2 jobs and him busting his ass and him doing everything for kids that's not even his, what does he really need her for at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't need her. He loves her. That's what love.
What's love? We always say what love has to do with it. At the end of the day, if he can pay his own bills, he don't have no kids with her. It's his house or whatever. I don't know their situation. What does he really need her for? You can have
it's not about what he needs. That's how you know a man he loves her. That's why the 50-50 is a dub. Like, if a man really loves you, he going to do it by any means necessary. So why are you going out there killing yourself when you can be staying home doing self-care and giving him massages like Joe's girlfriend do for him?
But she still goes to work and she still does her part, and we both enjoys doing what she
said. Joe's girlfriend? Hold on. Let me take an invisible shot.
So,
No, you only gotta take a shot when Joe says my girlfriend.
But I just wanted to take some anyway.
Look, mine is empty too.
Mine
But
is
we had a good show.
We already been on for an hour and 5 minutes, minus the technical difficulties. Hey, look, I'm 50-50 with it. Like I'm 100% on Melissa's side. I'm 100% on Joe's side. If it works for you, it works for you. That's all I gotta say. I mean, it is what it is. Like some people are okay with doing the 50-50 thing. Some women feel like men should 100% provide. But remember, when somebody's 100% providing for you, there's duties, in my opinion, that you have to do. You can't just be home waiting for him to pay all the bills. And he comes home to no food, dirty house, and you looking crazy. Like you gotta do things. You gotta, upkeep. I was a stay-at-home.
Like you gotta pay for the housekeeper to come. You have to pay for the meal prep services so that you guys have food every day of the week, and you also have to make sure that you're keeping your manicure appointments and
Joe shaking his head. Look, Joe, I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years, and I'm gonna tell you, I sent my son to daycare every single day, and he paid for everything: the rent, the daycare, the food, everything. And let me tell you something: if he came home and that food was not cooked, I'm talking about he wanted shit from scratch. Like it wasn't no pop. I had to cook. I never knew how to cook soup from scratch. He took me to the fruit stand and was like, "Get this turnip, get this potato, do this shit, and make it from scratch. Clothes, everything has to be A1." And I had no problem with it, but it worked. It worked for us in the beginning. At the end, bills started piling up, and he was like, "Listen, you gotta get a job. I can't pay for everything. You want to get your hands on, nails done, clothes, daycare. I can't do it all." So I ended up going back to work. But it's each his own. It works for y'all. It works for y'all. It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, it's 2021, and 2020. So I don't even want to say 2020 because this year's been fucked up. But it's 2020, and women are doing it for themselves. Men are doing it for themselves. Hey, if it works for y'all, it works for y'all. Shout out to you and your new relationship. Hopefully it works. And she continues.
I think it will. I think it will work.
Definitely.
Because he's already starting off good, putting gas in her car, not asking for reimbursement. He's not asking for reimbursement. So I think it will work.
Mm-hmm.
It will work.
And the only way it won't work is if she wasn't receptive of the things I do, because there's a lot of women that are not receptive of stuff like that. They are not used to that. So they get scared and they think I'm a manipulator. Oh, you doing
we know you have your fair share of the people that was little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or some of them just take advantage, like, oh, he's doing this, do more. Give me. So
right. But great topic, man. I wish we could have had it the way we wanted, because I know participation was ready.
But listen, the good thing about it is that we are live on YouTube right now. We're live on our MelBee Facebook page. We're going to try to share this live, hopefully sometime this week, on our MelBee's Tea podcast business page, where most of our followers are. But you can find us. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook Live. Catch up on our old videos on Facebook Watch. We here to stay. So
that's right. And it ain't 50-50 either.
That's it. Facts.
It's 33. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter. We in there, baby. So good talk, good lesson. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all got your little love on. I'm here for it. And we'll be back Sunday with another episode, new topic, new outfit, new hair, because we late. And yes, thank you for following and listening, comment, share, like. Oh, that's the music. Sorry. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this outro together so we can at least go out with a bang.
Bang, like Pop said. Bang.
at least. And yes, make sure you tune in to us next week here every Sunday. You know, we here.
We here.
Right. And without difficulties.
CP time, so it's supposed to start at 6, but you know, we colored, so 6:15, 6:05 around there.